Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good today, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. What do you got here?
Well, this is a snowboard.
You don't say.
I have a Evo snowboard signed by 39 separate Olympians from the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah. The athletes from all over the world assigned their name and their country and what sport they were participating in. I'm hoping to sell the snowboard for $425.
This is definitely cool. The 2002 Winter Olympics was the last Olympics held in the U.S.
Correct.
Team USA won 34 medals, and it was the most successful Olympics for the USA team.
And the people who signed this are no longer probably in the events anymore, so you'll never see their autographs ever again, probably either.
So I recognize this one name here, Chris Whitty. Have you heard of her?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she won a gold medal this year.
Yes.
But I'm not really seeing much of anything else. Do you have any paperwork for this?
Well, when I purchased it from the owner of the store, it came with this GQ Sports sticker with a serial number on it.
Yeah, it sure does. All right, well, that's good for me. It helps me authenticate the signatures themselves. Okay, and how much are you looking to get?
I'd like to get $425 for it.
Okay. I definitely think it has a market to Olympic collectors. Obviously, snowboards are a big part of the Olympics, but I kind of see it as a tough piece to sell, though, because I can't look on here and recognize, like, a top-notch snowboarder. The only one I recognize is Chris Whitty here, and with this being the only name I could recognize, it's hard to sell something just has a bunch of signatures, you know?
Make me an offer.
I honestly think I'm just gonna have to pass on it.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks for coming in.
Sorry we couldn't make a deal.
All right, have a great day, man.
Thank you. It's disappointing that I wasn't able to get an offer on the item. Being as unique as it was, I will probably send it to an auction house and see if there's something they could sell it for.
Hey, how's it going?
I brought this stadium coat worn by a U.S. athlete that competed in the 1956 Winter Olympics.
Hey, Pops.
What?
You look stylish in this. You want to try it on?
Okay. I look like a polar bear.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my Winter Olympics coat. I buy vintage clothing. It's probably the most historical thing I've ever found. I think the coat is worth at least $1,200, but I'd be willing to negotiate.
Where did you get this thing?
I bought it at a thrift store in New England, and I saw this patch, and when I checked the interior, it's when I saw the label that said that the wool was loomed especially for the USA Olympic Team 1956.
Okay.
And here's a picture of two of the athletes that won gold that year, wearing it on the front cover of Sports Illustrated.
It was the height of the Cold War and was the first year the Soviets had ever been in the Winter Olympics.
The televising of the Winter Olympics was a huge thing.
The 1956 Winter Olympics was the first to be broadcast on television in multiple countries all over the world. And because the Cold War was raging, the games became another propaganda tool.
Do you have the hood?
I was hoping you wouldn't notice that, but it is missing the hood.
Okay.
How many have survived, really, out of 67?
It is a nice wool jacket.
Beautiful.
Even though it's missing the hood, this coat is amazing. In 1956, there was only 24 events in the Winter Olympics. Fewer events means fewer athletes, so this has to be rare.
All right, so what do you want to do with it?
I'd like to sell it.
Okay. And how much do you want for it?
I'm looking for $1,200.
Ooh.
Well, I know, but where are you going to find another one?
Normally, I'd call in a buddy of mine to check this out, see what it's worth, but he's out of town at the moment, so.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking like 600 bucks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that seems low.
If we knew what athlete it came from, that would raise the value tremendously.
Could you do 1,000? It's rare. Somebody wants this coat for their collection.
I know they're rare, okay, but it's not an Olympic medal.
Right.
The best I can do is 600 bucks. I think that's a fair offer.
$850, or I have to leave with the coat.
All right.
beautiful.
All right, just tell me, what'd you get it for in the thrift store?
Less than $15.
That's a good score.
850 bucks is a lot of money for something you're not sure about. But if this coat is as rare as I think it is, I might have hit a home run. As soon as my buddy Jeremy gets back in town, I'll have him take a look. Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
Rick, what's going on, man? I own Ultimate Sports Cards and Memorabilia here in Las Vegas, and I'm an expert in sports memorabilia and cards.
It's a 1956 Winter Olympics coat worn only by the athletes.
Well, the 56 Winter Games, it was only the 7th Winter Olympics ever. Most importantly, this would have been the Soviet Union's debut in the Winter Olympics. Their main focus was to demonstrate the superiority of communism. And they kind of did that by just obliterating the competition, winning 16 medals. It was the first time that they'd even ever played ice hockey, and they actually won the gold.
Well, it was the Soviets. I mean, they got themselves a hockey team and made them go 24/7 practicing, I imagine.
Right.
Or they would have killed them.
Exactly.
So how did the United States do that year?
The United States did okay. We won 7 medals total. We definitely dominated in the figure skating. We won a silver in hockey, and for the U.S. hockey team, placing ahead of Canada, getting the silver in the Olympics, that was certainly a first for us and a big feat nonetheless. So what are your concerns about the jacket, Rick?
Basically, what is it worth? I mean, there was only 60-some made, which makes it pretty rare.
First of all, let's just go ahead and take a look. There's no hood, which I could see that from right here, it would snap on. And right here on the inside, we certainly do have some different tags right here. Okay. Well, what I can tell you is that this is, without a doubt, one of the coats issued to the 56 Winter Olympic team. This coat would have been given to all the different athletes and featured during the opening ceremonies as they marched into the stadium. Now, as far as the value goes, you'd mentioned that it was bought at a thrift shop, so we couldn't pin it to any particular athlete. You know, had it been the gold medal winners in figure skating, it would bump it up considerably. The fact we're missing a hood, I would probably value this coat at $800.
That's it?
Yeah, just it is a narrow market for something like this.
Okay, damn, I paid $850 for it.
$850? Yeah, that's around what I would probably see it selling for. These are really rare and unique, so you might be able to turn it for something there, sure.
Well, it's all your fault I paid $850 for it because you were out of town and I just had to figure out a price.
We're supposed to make money. You paid too much again. You screwed up again.
I didn't pay
damn
too
it.
much. I still think I'll make money off it, all right?
Whatever. You got a nice jacket, Rick.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, Rick. I'll see you guys.
Hey, thanks, guy.
Anytime.
You know, I can't know everything.
You should.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I have the coolest thing. I have a 1912 Olympic diploma from the Stockholm Olympics in Sweden.
This is really cool. This is what they gave the top 8 finishers in each event. The girl on there sure is a fashion statement, isn't she?
She's I found the diploma in a small charity shop for $4. The whole thing is written in Swedish, and I don't read a bit of Swedish. I went on the internet and found that it was a second-place finish for the United States. Go USA.
This actually has 800-meter Lakampoken Simon. I'm assuming it's 800-meter swimming.
800-meter swimming relay, actually.
Okay.
And it's second place, and it's the United States.
You don't have the medal, too, because that would be worth a lot of money.
I do not have the medal.
Okay.
No.
That's the goddess of victory, I think.
That's actually the goddess Athene.
Okay. This is the Olympics from 1912, so you probably only had maybe 100 events. Not nearly as many people participated. The Olympics wasn't as big a deal back then yet, until Germany in 1936, because everyone hated Hitler, and it was just so great for us to beat the hell out of him. I love stuff like this. It's both a significant piece of art and a very rare sports collectible. So a lot of different collectors will be interested. It is really interesting. I like how this is really Art Deco right here. I just like the look. How much do you want for it?
$1,500. I happened to be at an online auction site that had this one, and they started the bidding at $3,250. I know you can make a lot on that one now.
Usually I like to grind away a little bit, but That sounds like a perfect price. $1,500.
Thank you. Usually they try to lowball you early, but he seemed to think it was a fair deal. Probably should have asked for more.
What do we got? Got something very special here. I have the Olympic torch from the 1984 Summer Games, which I actually ran with the torch.
All right, it's pretty cool. So is there a technique for running with a lit torch?
Of course there is. You wouldn't hold it under your chin. I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell my 1984 Olympic torch. The least amount that I would take is probably between $3,000 and $3,500. I'd really like to get $5,000.
What made you so special you got to run with the torch?
Well, interesting enough, my dad got to choose 3 runners. And of course, being his son, I got nominated as one of the runners. I was 17 years old. It was the most phenomenal thing I've ever done in my life, and I even signed autographs after.
The Olympic flame has been part of the Olympic Games since ancient Greece. They keep it burning to represent man's control over nature. But running with the torch really didn't start until the 1936 Games in Berlin. Okay, so does it take oil or butane?
I don't know what kind of fuel it takes. I've never taken it apart. I brought it home, stuck it in the box, and put it up in the closet. It's been there for 28 years. Interesting enough, it actually comes with an owner's manual.
Okay. Oh, it takes propane.
Oh, okay.
At least you still have all the paperwork with it. Can I see it?
Sure.
I mean, it is really well made. It's all brass, leather.
Right now, it's killing me that you're even touching it. When people come over, they don't get to touch it. They can see it, they can look at my pictures, but they can't touch it.
So you have pictures of you running with it?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, you were a lot younger back then.
Yeah.
This thing is pretty amazing. The torch is probably the most iconic symbol of the modern-day Olympics. So it'd definitely make an awesome addition to someone's collection. Why would you want to sell it?
My son surfs, and he wants me to get back into surfing with him, so we got to get a couple new boards and wetsuits, and could use the money.
Okay, I understand. How much did you want for it?
$5,000.
I'm sure it's real. Okay, it's just the whole, what are they going for? It's not like you see Olympic torches every day. Do you mind if I call up a buddy of mine to see what this thing is worth?
Sure.
Have him come down and take a look at it, see what we can do, okay?
Thank you. I'm really excited that they're going to go ahead and bring in an expert to look at my torch because it is authentic. I did run with it, and I do have all the documentation for the torch.
Jerry, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Corey? The guys call me down to the pawn shop anytime they have a piece of sports memorabilia that they need some more information on.
I have an Olympic torch.
Oh, man, that is awesome. May I take a look?
Sure.
Okay, so 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games.
That's correct.
Where in the world did you get this?
I ran with it.
Did you?
Yes.
The 1984 Games in Los Angeles, the United States destroyed the competition. Unfortunately, our success is a little bit lopsided because of the boycott. The 1984 Games were going on amidst the Cold War between us and the Soviet Union. In 1980, we boycotted the Games in Moscow, and again in 1984, the Soviet Union returned the favor and boycotted the LA Games. In the world of international sports, there's no symbol more profound than an Olympic torch. In 1984, the torch is sold for a donation of around a few $1,000s.
So obviously there was a lot of these.
This particular year, there's 5,000.
Okay.
Previous years, there's as little as 2 dozen back in '52 in Helsinki. I think there's around 15,000 in Atlanta. So as far as scarcity goes, this kind of falls in the middle of the spectrum. In dealing with sports memorabilia, you don't see Olympic torches come up for sale all too often. But when they do, they're highly collectible, and there's many people that fight over them. So, Rick, what are your main concerns about the torch?
What's it worth?
Okay. I've seen Olympic torches get as high as $500,000. But that's for one limited under 22 production made back in the 50s. With this particular torch being as available as it is in today's economy, they sell very consistently from around $1,200 up to about $1,700.
I thought it'd be worth a lot more.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Anytime, Rick.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Corey. I know the seller is looking for a little bit more money than what it's worth, but he actually held the torch, and there's a certain degree of sentimental value that you just can't put a price on.
So how much do you want for it?
5,000.
I'll give you $800 for it.
Can't do 800.
It's a torch, it's not a medal. There being 5,000 of them out there. I would go $1,000 on it.
1,500. That's my minimum.
I can't do it. 1,000 would be it.
It's worth more to me than $1,000, so I think I'll hold on to it.
And I completely understand. Thanks for bringing it in. Appreciate it.
We weren't able to make the deal on the torch today, but I think I'm going to put it back up in the closet for another 28 years.
What do you got here?
Well, I got a 1984 Staff Olympic uniform.
Well, it looks like 1984 with this green.
Oh, yeah. This is the color of the year.
Oh, we got some bright pink. I love it. Has this thing ever been worn?
Not by me.
Mind if I do?
Not at all. Looks good. My uncle worked the whole event, and he had an extra one, and it's my first Olympics that I can remember, and he gave it to me, and so I've been holding on to it ever since. I like to have at least 300. Being in Vegas, I like to spend it on my AC in my old truck. It's pretty hot nowadays.
It is pretty cool. So this was just a big time for the Olympics in general. No one else wanted to bid on the Olympics that year. LA's actually the only place that bid on the Olympics. And that was a smart move because they made over $200 million and they were actually able to get money for advertisements and sponsors and all kinds of stuff. It had never happened before in the Olympics.
Cool.
And what do we got in here? My favorite thing is shoes.
These are all you.
Yeah, Converse sponsored the Olympics in 1984. I mean, they were like one of the biggest brands around, you know, in the 80s. It looks brand new, so what'd you want to do with it?
I was looking to make some money on it.
Okay, I mean, how much you thinking?
I like to say 300.
We're looking more like the $50 range, man. 300's way too high.
I can't go that low.
I mean, at the end of the day, this was just a uniform that had been worn by someone who was gonna, you know, drive a car, pick up trash, sell souvenirs. It's not as collectible as, say, a pair of shoes that someone wore in the high jump.
$250?
If you want it, I'll give you 75 bucks, man.
No less than 100.
You know what? I can do that. I can do the 100.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds like a deal. All right.
Thanks.
Just leave it right here and meet me over at the counter.
Cool, thanks. I'm glad to take the 100. That will help towards getting my truck running and going and take the wife out, get something to eat.
Hey, how can I help you guys?
Hey, how are you?
So what do we got here?
This is a book from the 1936 Olympics. And the other thing we have, this is a medallion given to the German soldiers who volunteered at the Olympics.
A lot of people thought this was going to be the last Olympics there ever was because the world had changed so much.
We decided to come to the pawn shop today to try to sell a 1936 Olympics picture book and a medallion. I'm not really clear in terms of how much these items are worth. I was hoping to get somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 each for these items.
Where did you get these things?
My nephew was born in Germany, and he did a little collecting, and one summer he came back with these two items.
It was a big deal in Germany, but at that point in history, the Olympics weren't that big of a deal. This was sort of like the first gigantic one. Hitler wanted to show off everything he was building and everything else.
You know, at the time, he only wanted Aryan people on his team.
Jesse Owens ran away with that. He was the hero of the 1936 Olympics.
The 1936 Summer Olympics were held in Berlin, Germany, which was under Nazi rule. Hitler wanted to use the games to prove the superiority of the Aryan race. Too bad for him, we had Jesse Owens, an African-American who won 4 gold medals. The Fuhrer wasn't happy. So did you guys want to sell these things?
Yeah, we wanted to sell them, yeah.
Did you have any idea what you wanted for them?
Thinking in the area of like $100 for the book and maybe $100 for the medallion.
It's in good shape.
Yeah, it is in really good shape, actually. Most books like this end up eventually getting water damage. I mean, I'd like to make you an offer on it or something like that, but these are real common books, believe it or not. I don't know why they are, but I've seen them before, and I know they don't go for a lot of money. The same with the medal. There was like 50,000 of these made. It was something that was mass-produced.
Don't you think this is really a neat piece of history?
It's neat, but it's a really limited market for this thing. A lot of people aren't going to buy it just because of that symbol right there. And I, quite frankly, I can't blame them.
I can't blame them.
I mean, things like this should be kept around because people who don't study history are bound to repeat it. You know, they're not really great things I like having in my store. It does offend some people, and
So you're not interested?
I'm just not interested in buying it. I'm sorry. Thanks for bringing it in, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you. I'm disappointed that we couldn't make a deal.
We'll try to donate them to some museum.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
What we got?
I have a Dallas Cowboys jersey worn by Bob Hayes during the 1965 season, which was his rookie year.
What the hell do you think's on the front of it? Looks like it could be blood or something.
Yeah, I was told that it was blood.
I definitely believe it. I mean, it was a rough game back then. And being a punt returner, I mean, they would just drill this guy.
I decided to sell my Dallas Cowboy jersey that was worn by Bob Hayes, one of the greatest receivers of all time. I'm not really sure of the total value of the jersey, but the least I'd be willing to take is $10,000.
What you have here is real interesting, man.
I thought Emmitt Smith was number 22.
Bob Hayes was long before him. He was fast. He was a really good punt returner. He is the only guy ever to have a gold medal and a Super Bowl ring, which is something I still don't understand why the NFL doesn't use more Olympic sprinters.
They're big wussies, man. I mean, they're fast and they're good at what they do, but they don't want to get hit.
Bob Hayes is a legend. I mean, this guy was once considered the world's fastest man. That's awesome. So if he actually wore this jersey in a game, I'll be making myself some fast money. So what do you want to do with it?
I would like to sell it if the price is right.
Any particular number come to mind?
10,000.
So what makes you know for a fact this is Bob Hayes' uniform?
I got it from a friend of mine. He wrote me a letter. His father was a rookie with Bob Hayes, and it was given to him personally by Bob Hayes. And I found a picture that appears to me to be the exact same jersey. It has creases on the same places on the twos.
I mean, it definitely looks old. I don't know for a fact that this is his game-worn jersey.
I understand.
That being said, I got a buddy that can come down and check it out. If anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be him.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll give him a call.
Thank you. I'm excited that they're gonna call in an expert because I would really like to hear his opinion on it. I do have a concern that it was actually worn during a game, but I don't have a concern that it was worn by Bob Hayes.
A customer brought in a jersey that was allegedly worn by Olympic sprinter turned Hall of Fame football player Bob Hayes. If this is really his jersey, we got a big deal on our hands.
Corey, how's it going, man? What up, chum?
Jeremy, what's going on, man?
Right on, so what do we got today?
Here you go, man. A friend of his says Bob Hayes gave it to him.
Nice, man. America's team, baby. So when the Cowboys drafted Bob Hayes, everybody doubted the fact that an Olympic sprinter could be an effective NFL player. He actually set several Cowboys records, some of which still stand today. Not only is he in the Football Hall of Fame, he's also in the Cowboys Ring of Honor.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, the guy's done it all.
Yes.
Bob Hayes is probably one of the most underrated players in NFL history. He was so fast, they had to institute the zone defense and the bump and run just to have a shot at stopping this guy.
I do have a letter from a friend of mine stating that it came from his father, who played for the Cowboys, and I found this photo of Bob Hayes wearing the same jersey.
Okay. This letter in itself doesn't really do a whole lot for it, but the actual facts surrounding whether this is authentic or not is going to be told in the actual jersey itself.
Yeah.
This is from the 60s. It's number 22, just like Bob Hayes wore. They wore this style of jersey throughout the 63 season. Starting in 64, they would have gone to a different style of jersey with the stripes on the sleeves. And being that Bob Hayes was a rookie in 1965, this jersey right here, this was not Bob Hayes' jersey used in a game. It's still a historic piece of Cowboys history, so it does have some value, but in its tattered condition, about 250 bucks.
Okay. I am not interested at all, buddy.
I understand.
You're the best, man. Appreciate it.
All right, boy. Thanks. It's really impossible to say whether or not Hayes wore that jersey during a practice or a photo shoot. We just know that this jersey wouldn't have been worn by him during the season.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it.